What if loving cats isn't about being distant or antisocial, but actually a sign of high emotional intelligence? Most people assume cat lovers prefer animals because they dislike people. But psychology tells a very different story. Behind the quiet companionship and independent personalities lies a fascinating psychological profile that often goes completely misunderstood. Psychology and neuroscience reveal that people who love cats tend to share distinct cognitive and emotional traits. In this video, you'll discover the hidden psychological patterns behind cat lovers, from how they process emotions to how their brains handle relationships and boundaries. Stay until the end, because the final insight challenges one of the biggest myths about intelligence and empathy. Cat lovers often appreciate relationships that don't require constant reassurance or attention. Cats offer connection without dependency, and psychology reveals why that matters. From a behavioral psychology perspective, this reflects comfort with emotional autonomy. Research shows that people who value independence in others often have secure internal emotional regulation. They don't rely on constant external validation to feel connected. If this resonates, it actually suggests emotional maturity. The ability to enjoy closeness without control is a sign of balanced attachment, not detachment. A cat sitting nearby without demanding attention mirrors how these individuals approach relationships: present, respectful, and grounded. But here's what most people miss. This independence connects to something even deeper. Cats communicate quietly. Their signals are subtle: tail flicks, ear movements, brief glances. People who love cats often excel at noticing these microsignals. Psychology shows this reflects heightened nonverbal intelligence. Studies indicate that individuals attuned to subtle cues tend to score higher in emotional perception, a key component of emotional intelligence. If someone easily senses mood shifts without words, this isn't guesswork, it's cognitive empathy at work. The brain becomes trained to read nuance rather than rely on explicit instruction. This is why cat lovers often understand unspoken emotions in people too. And that sensitivity leads to an unexpected strength. Cats make boundaries obvious. They decide when to engage and when not to. People who love cats tend to respect this without taking it personally. From a psychological standpoint, this aligns with strong boundary awareness. Research shows that individuals who honor boundaries are less likely to engage in controlling or anxious behaviors. If someone accepts a cat's "not now" signal calmly, it often means they can tolerate emotional space without fear. That's a sign of relational security. In human relationships, this translates into healthier dynamics, less pressure, and more trust. But the reason this feels natural goes deeper than personality. Cats don't perform to please. They're not obedient by default. They respond only when interaction feels genuine. Psychology reveals that people drawn to cats often prefer authenticity over social performance. Studies on personality traits suggest a correlation between cat preference and a lower need for social dominance or approval seeking. If someone values honest connection over constant affirmation, it reflects internal validation. The brain doesn't chase reward through approval, it finds satisfaction in real alignment. This often surprises people because it looks quiet on the surface. But cognitively, it's powerful, and it connects to intelligence in a surprising way. Loving cats is often mislabeled as antisocial. Psychology strongly disagrees. Research shows that many cat lovers lean toward introverted cognitive processing, not social avoidance. Introversion, in neuroscience, reflects how the brain restores energy, not how it values people. If someone prefers fewer, deeper interactions, this actually signals reflective thinking and high internal awareness. Introverted brains often excel at abstract thought, creativity, and long-term planning, so what looks like withdrawal is often mental depth and action. But here's the fascinating part: this depth fuels creativity. Multiple studies indicate that cat lovers score higher on openness to experience, a core trait linked to creativity and intellectual curiosity. Cats are unpredictable. They don't follow rigid patterns. People who enjoy that variability tend to thrive in ambiguity rather than control it. Psychologically, this reflects flexible thinking. The brain stays curious instead of rigid. New ideas feel stimulating, not threatening. If this resonates, it actually means comfort with complexity, a rare cognitive strength. And interestingly, this trait also shapes how stress is handled. Cats operate on their own timelines. There's no guaranteed response. Loving that unpredictability trains the brain to tolerate uncertainty. Neuroscience shows that individuals comfortable with ambiguity experience less stress when outcomes are unclear. Their nervous systems adapt rather than escalate. If someone stays calm without immediate control, it signals emotional regulation and patience. This is why many cat lovers appear grounded during chaos. Their brains don't demand instant resolution. But the most misunderstood trait hasn't been revealed yet, and it changes how intelligence itself is viewed. Cat affection is subtle. It's earned. People who love cats often express care in quiet, consistent ways. Psychology reveals that empathy doesn't require overt emotional display. Studies on empathic styles show that some individuals express care through presence rather than intensity. If affection shows up as reliability instead of grand gestures, it reflects deep emotional attunement. This is empathy without performance, steady, observant, and sincere. And this leads to the final, most surprising insight. Research suggests cat lovers are more likely to think independently rather than follow group norms automatically. Cats don't conform, and neither do the people who appreciate them. Psychologically, this aligns with autonomous decision-making and critical thinking. If someone questions assumptions instead of accepting them, it shows cognitive independence. This is strongly linked to intelligence, not just IQ, but adaptive intelligence, the ability to think beyond social pressure. What looks unconventional is often intellectual self-trust. The psychology of loving cats reveals a powerful theme: emotional independence, subtle empathy, cognitive depth, and comfort with complexity. These aren't flaws. They're signs of quiet intelligence and emotional maturity. What often gets mislabeled as distant is actually discerning. What seems reserved is often deeply aware. If this perspective resonated, subscribe for weekly psychology insights that help decode human behavior and self-understanding. And in the next video, the psychology behind why highly intelligent people often feel misunderstood will be explored. Because sometimes the quiet minds see the most.